Okay.
Hi, we're here at the Public Theater with Tammy Faye Starlite, who just performed her wonderful Nico Evening with Nico show with a great band to back her up and some delightful, amazingly beautiful songs.
Oh.
And I'd like to have you talk about basically how you were inspired to pick Nico as a character to perform.
Well, I've always loved Nico's voice ever since I got my first Velvet Underground cassette, because I'm that old, cassette. And I just, the three songs, it was the first record, the Velvet Underground and Nico, and her voice just really kind of drew me in because I love the depth of it, the sound of her voice. It was so low, and I'm a fan of alto voices, so there was something so mysterious about her. And I then got another cassette. It was like a kind of live bootleg, and I heard her singing Heroes, and she was saying like, I wish I could swim like the dolphins can swim. And I thought, the dolphins, I love her forever. So I kind of fell in love with her and just bought her records, which are hard to find, but I got them. And I'd been doing this character, Tammy Faye Starlite, which isn't my real name. Tammy is, but Tammy Faye Starlite was a country music, a right-wing evangelical country music singer who sang inadvertently filthy songs. And I've been doing that for a while, and at a certain point, there are only so many funny incest songs you can do, so I thought, what else am I going to do? And I thought of Nico because she'd always appealed to me as a person, somebody who, in this age of, so much plastic surgery and people changing their appearance, in efforts to look younger, or, getting Restylane in their cheeks. I don't know. Nico was somebody who was born stunningly beautiful. I mean, mind-blowingly beautiful, and willfully destroyed her own beauty. She didn't want to be thought of as just a beautiful, at least that's what I've gleaned from reading about her, as somebody just beautiful or just a model. She wanted to be thought of as a songwriter, as an artist in her own right, which she was. And then, I think her heroin addiction didn't help things. It might have helped along the, I don't know if I want to say decline, because that sounds pejorative, but it kind of, she had her own ideas about life and fate, and I think there were a lot of unspoken fears and regrets that she had about, not really raising her son by Alain Delon, who was never recognized by Delon as his son, but he is, and that she kind of abandoned her mother to a degree, from what I heard. But I think that aided her, and I think certain things she couldn't handle, and that's why I guess people turn to heroin, or one of the reasons, other than that it probably feels really good. And that's what became of her life for a long time, was just doing gigs to get heroin. But in that time, there was so much that was fascinating about her as a person, her subversion, her kind of just disavowal of anything, societally approved. She was really, truly a bohemian, and really smart and really contradictory, and that's what is fascinating about her. That's probably a much more long-winded answer than you wanted. So.
And where do you plan on taking the show?
Well, we've done it since, I think we started in 2010. We did it here at Joe's Pub first, and then we did it at the Duplex and at the Cutting Room. I've done in LA, and we've gotten lovely reviews, and it was originally based on an interview that she did in 1986 with an Australian interviewer, and I had a guy on stage playing the Australian interviewer, and we'd done it that way until last June. And last June I did 4 shows at the Cutting Room, and for a year I had begged Mark Russell of the Public Theater to come see it, and he finally relented, I think, just to get me off his back, and he liked it, and he brought in this director, David Schweitzer, and he said, work with David, and David decided to change it and to put the interviewer off stage and to change his personality too. He's not Australian, the Australian was kind of fumbling and, a little unsure of himself, and this is more of the event has changed too. Now it's kind of more or less, even though it's sort of tacit and unspoken until the end, that she's dead and she's been in limbo for I guess since she died in '88, and she's finally being evaluated for entry into some kind of, rock and roll Valhalla or something like that. And my feeling is she doesn't quite make it in, and she has to keep her, her limbo, her Dantean level is that she is, just has to keep touring forever, and probably doesn't get a lot of heroin to keep her, keep her happy. It's just an endless tour playing for a few people who don't appreciate her, which is something. Not that they don't appreciate me. I love our audiences so much, and I'm so grateful when anybody comes. So, but I know, I understand what it's like, not to be Nico, but to have those same feelings, I guess.
All right.
All
right. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, sure. I hope it
Appreciate
wasn't too
Thank
down
you.
or anything like that,